Hello everyone, welcome back to Carla Paiva Life Coach Show with Frequency 5 FM. I would like to start by thanking all my sponsors, and they are Tony Manchella. He works for Remax. If you want to sell or buy your house, please contact him at 416-726-1723 or 416-745-2300. Once again, you can reach Tony at 416-726-1723 or 416-745-2300. I would like to thank also Farida. She has her own company. It's called Young Forever, and she provides nutritionist and yoga instructor services, and she also does laser. So if you want any of those services and you would like to consult Farida, please do so. She can be reached at 905-624-4234. Once again, 905-624-4234. And now let's start the show with the one and only Jagger Gordon. And I would like to thank Jagger for coming.
Thank you. That's unnecessarily. Come on.
Well, Jagger, this week you have definitely developed a lot of different projects, right? Which last time you were on my show, we talked about it. The projects have not yet come, but now here you are. And let's talk about those projects. Let's educate the audience with whatever you're doing right now.
Sure. So for who's tuning in, I belong to a group called Feed It Forward. It's a non-for-profit federal charity that we've created here in Toronto. And this project that we started is a food rescue system, where basically we rescue food from landfills. In other words, something that's destined to a landfill means, a grocery store has something that's blemished, ugly fruit and vegetables, something that has a bruise on it. Well, to the consumer, we're so spoiled here in Canada that we just don't want to buy something with a bruise on it, so we'll just throw it away. So as a grocer, it's sad because they get to see how much they have to dispose of because the consumer doesn't want to purchase it. So the Feed It Forward has made an intervention where we rescue tens of thousands of pounds of ugly fruits and vegetables a week. What we do is we drive around to our specific locations 7 days a week, and we acquire these incredible products that are still edible. In fact, that they're beautiful. It's just, like I said, to the consumer, it's not really too appealing. And we utilize it in many different levels. And the Feed It Forward program started 11 initiations and 11 programs throughout the city, attacking all the key points of where food comes from farming aspects to the food terminals, to restaurants, to grocers, and such, and to even to the manufacturing of food. But where I'm getting at with the Feed It Forward program, we're trying to address the $31 billion worth of food annually that's still edible being destroyed here in Canada. In fact, 40% of the food that was manufactured here in Canada is destroyed. It doesn't even make it to the market. But what is an alarming concern, and what we're trying to address at feeditforward.ca program is the emissions, the emissions that are coming from these landfills that we're filling up with the $31 billion worth of food annually. That's like the equivalent of putting about 2 million new vehicles on the road. The emissions coming from that is the equivalent about that to in what's in the landfills coming out. So yeah, there's a great need for change, and that's addressing the food wastage crisis, or the problem that we're at hand, and then the food hunger situation that we're dealing with. So Feed It Forward. Sorry to keep on going. I can go on.
It's okay.
I can go on days with this.
Yeah, take it over.
I'm really passionate about what we do at my program.
Yes.
But see, it's addressing the food insecurity situation. And 1 in 7 families across Canada are dealing with this situation, which means they're struggling for a proper plate or a setting for their own tables. And 1 in 4 children here in Toronto alone are dealing with food insecurities. So the Feed It Forward program is not only addressing this at hand, but what we're trying to make is a difference. And that's feeding our communities. That's taking this food that's destined to landfills, saving it from the landfills, and then putting it onto the tables of people in need. 39 to 40% of post-secondary students are dealing with food insecurities. The anxiety of a child or a youth worrying about where their next meal comes from frightens me. We live in such a rich, full country that has an abundance of food. In fact, the $31 billion worth of food annually we throw away can actually feed world hunger times 3. So, moving forward, what we're trying to say is we are trying to not only rescue food, but educate everyone that we come in contact with. And now that we've started these programs, which we'll get into further,
yes,
from each one and how it's established itself to where it's at now, because it's like a flower it was a little seed, went to a bud, and now it's bloomed. And it's amazing because we are community driven. We have over 750 volunteers registered in my program that we've brought just alone in our city here to make a difference.
So those are actually people that you call it the food rescuers?
The food rescue heroes.
Heroes, okay.
You are food rescue heroes.
So I do understand sometimes you do need, let's say, in various locations that takes, a lot of drive to get there, and you do get people that volunteer and get the foods and transport it to your location, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of people out there that are willing to help, and there are people that are helping. And by that saying, we work all the way from the GTA. We work from the Niagara region to Whitby, Ontario, to as far north as possible. And twice a week, we are rescuing up to 500 to 1,000 pounds of bread alone from Cobb's in Aurora. And that's brought down to the shelters and people in need in the surrounding area. These are volunteer people that want to make a difference, and they are. And this is what I love, because when you put like-minded people in the same room together, people brainstorm. We manifest incredible ideas, and this is what's happening.
So everybody in all of your locations, they are volunteers.
Yeah, so every location, which I'll get into, the volunteers. So we started what's called the Soup Bar in 2016-17.
It was in a trailer.
Yeah, it was a shipping container.
I saw it. I saw it, and I do remember back then that that's how you started, and you did start putting some videos out there trying to educate people. It was something small. It was a trailer. However, your vision came to where it is right now. Right?
What's fascinating is I started to see the food wastage as a caterer and as a chef, and I wanted to do something about it. So I went onto the streets. I started feeding people with it, but I needed to make something a little more stationary where people can come to me 7 days a week. Not to me, but to the idea, because this is so much bigger than me. And it was amazing because 200 to 300 people would come to the shipping container at Bathurst and Dundas, and they would have their bellies filled with nutritionally, balanced meals put together through through products from our farm or that were donated. And, the majority of my audience, the people that came through, which educated me so much, were children, which were struggling families, were people that lived in that community that needed help. I couldn't believe the amount of children that were going to school with an empty stomach that stopped off for a snack or a meal. On the way to school, during school for their lunch, they would come to us, and going home to an empty fridge where they wanted to take something home.
But then here's the thing is, because you got connected with those individuals, right? But now in this era, I find that when you talk to people that are not even related or close to knowing what that feels to be with an empty stomach, or to be, not having the ability to afford that, they actually are the ones that say, well, I don't know what you're talking about, nor they want to get any type of involvement, which I find that's a little bit sad because of the fact that why do you have to be in that position to actually suffer, and in order for you to understand and give the value once it's your turn to provide back to the community, right? Because you are financially stable, and you have to go through it in order for you to feed it forward, right?
Well said.
So I find that it's very sad that people have to go through that in order to actually come and unite themselves and build the community to be stronger and be able to feed forward.
You're right on point. The majority of the volunteers that started with me were actually the recipients of my program. They were actually the ones that were at across the street at a shelter, and once they got off their feet, they were able to give back to their friends at that shelter, and so on and so on. There was this compound factor where when you hand someone a meal and they're appreciative of it, they'll always remember where that meal came from. And the great thing is it's a learning experience. Because that old saying, I can give a fish to someone, but you want to teach them how to fish for a lifetime. Well, that's the benefit about the Feed It Forward program, because not only that we have the shipping container that was at that time, but I also had a kitchen running on a separate side of things where we would prepare these meals, and not just for the soup bar, but for the community, and outreaching for the Out of the Cold programs for anyone that needed a meal. And this is how the Feed It Forward program expanded. I mean, it was so amazing to see how many people we could feed with no budget. And this is the beneficial part, because Greenwood Farms in Whitby, Ontario, would donated 200 acres to us at that time, and we actually grew up to 20,000 pounds of organic vegetables, which we utilize in all the programs that we put together through Feed It Forward at that time. Now it's flourished into double that, but we'll start off slow and we'll talk
slowly.
About because there's so much. I am so passionate about what we do, but the thing is bringing people to the farm. I mean, people had no idea how to farm or have any farming aspects. When we put their feet into the hands into the dirt and show them where an actual tomato comes from, because as I've taught classes to children, and I would hold up this tomato and I would ask them, where does this tomato come from? Of course, hands would raise and say it came from the store. Well, the fun part is when you bring your children to our farm and they get their hands dirty, this is how we literally teach them. This is where Mother Earth gives us the bounty of the glorified product that it can grow. It's a beautiful thing. But moving forward, I can from the soup bar. We were on the streets where we started the Out of the Cold programs, where actually we were giving soup to all the shelters and places that were housing people in need on an emergency basis. And we're talking tens of thousands of people that we were feeding. It was amazing. The Feed It Forward program is really interesting because, like I said, over 750 volunteers, but we have zero funding. I've created a dynamic where we can bring community and do fundraising, do events. I'm a social enterprise, so I'm a caterer, and as I cater all my events, I take the proceeds and I actually reinvested it into the Feed It Forward program, hence why it's gotten so big. Because, if I can make it sustainable and show how the freedom of free food and labor can be utilized and give back to our citizens that are fighting for their own food securities, then why can we not take this across the world? But we'll start with Canada. And how are we going to do that? Well, as a federal non-for-profit, once I get my charitable status, and then I started applying for, assistance from a corporate sponsor or a grant of some sort to initiate a new program. But each program that I've created has to be sustainable. And my books are open. They're transparent. And this is what the beauty of it is, because it showcases how it's all done. I want people to learn by my errors. In fact, everything that I have created, and not to have an ego behind it, but everything that Feed It Forward has done has been done through a lot of legwork. Our boots have hit the pavement, but we haven't failed yet. We haven't had an error yet. We have actually succeeded to where we're at today. And moving forward from the soup bar, we moved into a place called the Feed It Forward Pay What You Can or Donate What You Can grocery store, bakery, and coffee shop.
Which, I mean, the beauty of it is that your products are organic. And, which is the best quality that you can find while feeding others, right?
Yeah. When we can feed someone through their stomach and nourish them through their stomachs, which will nourish their minds and their brains, it's dynamic to see the results, because at the Pay What You Can, Donate What You Can grocery store that we have at Feed It Forward at Dundas and Runnymede, we're able to give anyone, if you have money or you don't have money, an option to eat healthier. The healthier you can eat, the better you'll survive and be. And this is what we've done. Now we're actually feeding hundreds of people a day, families.
Yeah.
Through our grocery store. And like you said, Carla, everything is organic. It's our produce is from our farm. A lot of our products and produce is donated from Whole Foods Market, Yorkville. Thank you so much. Cobb's Bread, thank you so much. And Fred's Bread, and thank you so much. Because without you guys, we couldn't do this. And this is the great part is these big companies that are behind us don't necessarily want, the props for what they do. They just believe in the idea that it can be done successfully. And this is what we're doing at the grocery store. But moving forward.
Moving forward. Now, talking about that, I did see that you posted the other day, not too long ago, about the stores that are providing it, whatever their leftovers, whatever they have, they provided to you.
Yep.
And then you put a logo, your logo there. And then, which basically people that go into their store, it's basically showing proof that whatever leftovers they have goes straight to here. Jagger Feed It Forward store. So it's a great initiative to embrace and go out there and know where are you investing your money on when you go and eat out. Then that store is whatever you left over. You're full, you don't want to eat your meal, but yet you don't want to take it home. Your rests of your food will be going towards Feed It Forward. So.
Now, well said. What it is actually it's a food rescue pledge. Now that the participants in our program, if you're a restaurant, a baker, or a grocery store, we actually put a beautiful plaque on your window that states that you've taken the pledge, which means that any food that's left over, not food that's even left over, but stuff that you need to utilize rather than throw it away, we'll rescue and we'll give it back to people in need. And as being a food rescue hero at your location, we'll basically show the audience and your patrons that you are actually taking one step further and helping people and reducing waste. It's not necessarily always about helping as many people as you can through their stomachs, but also helping your environment. I mean, the byproducts that we use from certain things that we cannot give to the public, we utilize and put into dog and cat food. I mean, a hungry person also has hungry pets.
Yes.
Who eats first? Is it the pet or is it the owner? So we're addressing all these principles that we need to be accountable for.
Yeah, well, that's great. You feed 2, 3, 4 in one kind of thing.
Yep.
Right? So now, in regards to the, let's shift to the app. You do have an app that came out.
No, it's not out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet?
I'm holding back.
You're holding back. So you're like
we just launched
educating.
another project
Oh,
first.
okay.
Yeah.
So then go for it.
So the next
that's why I love to have you over, because I mean you provide so much updates and knowledge to people that they don't have the opportunity to actually sit there and look, because you're all over the place, right?
I am.
And
We are.
it's hard to kind of catch up in a nutshell as to what is exactly that you're doing.
Yeah, if you got time to listen to this, I mean, that's great, because who really has time to sit down? And then that's my theory in my life. And I'm so blessed to have such great people surrounding me, because to tie me down, as you have, you got more time than anyone else that I can really see. I'm always either standing in the kitchen or I'm on the hustle and bustle making things happen. And at home, it's a rarity that I get to actually enjoy myself these days. But moving forward, we've created a new program. So the soup bar dynamic works, and so we took it to another level. Now we're addressing the post-secondary students. Now we're addressing the colleges and the universities. I started a program called feedthefuture.ca, where I make bi-weekly meal packages in biodegradable containers with the food systems that I've created, and these great organic products I put into these containers and flash freeze them, and I deliver them to the UFT students now. It's called feedthefuture.ca. You know, we're anticipating anywhere from 10 to 15,000 meals a month that we're going to feed these students that are actually struggling for their next meal, because it's affordable. Imagine having a meal program delivered to your door for under $5. I mean, for every $5 that's donated to my program, I actually buy someone a meal and donates a meal forward to someone else. So it's a win-win situation. It's called feedthefuture.ca. That program has started. The other program I addressed was at Humber College at the North Campus. That program is amazing. That's the Soup Bar Part 2, where we've taken that concept, what we started, and now we've moved it forward into a bigger platform. And the platform is now imagine feeding between, let's just say, 900 to 2,000 students a day. Well, we're doing that. I have a facility at the kitchen now where I can actually take the students at hand and teach them how to utilize the food that we rescue, make it nutritionally balanced meals, and provide it back to their student body. And what we have is the Soup Bar, which is a shared 6,000 square foot space. It's been completely renovated for the Soup Bar, and it's a space where students can come in a couple times a week to start off, because I'm trying to juggle 2 kitchens, a grocery store, and a restaurant at the same time. It's pretty hard for me, but it's working. But the thing is I'm making these incredible soups from all over the world that not one student's ever tried, and touching the palates of these students and introducing new flavor profiles and new countries and new techniques. And that's what is amazing, because I go back to that theory. You know, you can give a fish to a student or to someone, but you want to teach them how to fish for a lifetime. And this is what we're doing at Humber College. It's a beautiful thing. And the like I said, not an empty stomach's an empty mind. So if we can address and fill these stomachs up, because, you know, even though they could afford it or not, it's not about that. It's actually feeding a student where he can utilize, or they can utilize, that money for their scholastics or their time or their rent or whatever it be. Just alleviate, take a little bit off, just a little bit, but feed their bellies with a lot. And, you know, give them as much as they need on that day, and let them worry about their scholastics. Why should any child worry about their next meal?
Yeah, well, not only eat a lot, but I mean, it is organic food, right? Once again, so it is feeding the right and proper nutrition to the body, which when you're in school under the pressure and stress, you want to feed your mind, because everything starts with the mind in order to function everything else, right?
Isn't that just so true?
So yeah, that's a great ideal and program you have there for impacting
Humber College and Ignite, the student unit. We've worked together and we've made this happen. Can you imagine taking this every university and college? Well, we are. We're going to
we'll get there.
Yeah, no, it's just a matter of showcasing the pilot projects of how they work and how they're sustainable, and then move it forward. I mean, it's always great, because I get a lot of emails continuously every day saying, hey, we like to franchise, we like to explore, we like to have this. And it's like, I'm slowing everybody down by saying, let me build the business model. Let me show how it's done. Let's explore this first before we jump ahead of the game. This is something new that the world has never seen. This is what I want to tell you guys out there. This is new. No one's done any of it. Everything that I am actually doing technically hasn't been really done at the level that I'm at. And this is where it's going to happen. With your help, we can make this expand. You know, as I said that I have zero funding, can you imagine if you were a corporate sponsor and someone that wanted to be co-branding next to us that's like-minded? We'll have that happen. It's going to happen. And, you know, as I fund these programs, we have only a couple of vehicles on the road, and we just lost one of our vehicles.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it broke down. It was one of our trucks, and unfortunately, it would cost more to fix it than what the truck's worth. So what we're actually out there looking for is a new vehicle, a new truck, like a Sprinter, something that we can move a lot of food around to help people in need. So if you are someone that has access to a truck, pickup truck, or a Sprinter, hey, or a van, we need your help. We really do. The more vehicles we have on the road, the more we can assist people living with the food insecurities. So keep it in mind. I mean, we do give charitable receipts for that also. And I'm the last one to ask for help, but I can now because we can make a difference together.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what I say. United, we can truly make a difference, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is where I go with regards to also the new chair.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the new app that.
Yep.
Okay, let's go into the app since you're leading to that way. Because about the app, yeah. So, do you want to talk about the app?
I really can't wait to tell you what's even after the app.
Yeah. Okay. What's after the app? Okay,
well, let's just start with the app.
The
app, the Feed It Forward app. Imagine in your kitchen. Okay, so we work really hard all week long to fill our fridges up for our family or even for ourselves. And we're impressed when we open the fridge up and we see it fully stocked with all the greatness that we've purchased and we love so much. But after the third day, things start to wilt. Things start to blemish. The leaves on the tip of the lettuce start to go black. We're programmed, because we're so used here in Canada to seeing perfectly great stuff, to throw it away.
Oh, I think I know where you're leading here.
Right. So this is the great thing is, you know, stop overspending, stop throwing your money out that you work so hard for. But what I've created is an app where you're able to take a picture of it now and upload it, and it'll have a pinning system on a map where all the free food's at. So imagine you have lettuce, a tomato, and a cucumber that's half eaten or whatever. You're able to actually just take a picture of it, talk about what it is, and then offer it to someone in need. It could be your neighbor, it could be a student down the street, it could be anyone that's in your vicinity that wants it. Because not only that you're giving somebody the option to acquire that food, but you're saving it from the landfills. Now, that's just the salad aspect. It could be a piece of pizza, it could be a whole pizza, but it could be a truckload of tomatoes at the food terminal that are all wrinkled because they've been sitting there for 3 days. And of course, as Canadians, it's so much easier to throw things away. And so this app will allow people to upload it onto it, and you're able to pinpoint exactly what you would want and when you can get it. And the funny part is, you know, it actually calculates the carbon footprint, which means it'll actually tell you how many pounds of emissions we're saving from the atmosphere and which local landfill we're saving it from. So now every city can be in competition of how much food they're actually diverting from landfills, giving back to people, saving it from the atmosphere, the emissions from the atmosphere, and who's actually winning. Let all cities be a challenge.
Yeah, that's you know, that's a great idea. You didn't share that one last time.
You gotta say a little bit for the end.
This is a new one, but that one rang me a bell in regards to, you did say something about, I don't know if this app would apply to that as well, with regards to if we have food and then we want to throw it out or whatever it is, we would use an app or something like that that would identify that, which is similar to what you're saying. However, you would come and pick it up to the location. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Instead,
so
you're putting it out there as like
yeah.
giving it away, and then people within that same area will go and pick it up if they're in need?
Yeah,
it
actually gives everyone the option to acquire it. So no matter where you're at, it'll showcase what time you can pick it up at, and once you've agreed to take it. Now, don't get me wrong. The way you get into the app is basically you have to register it with a social profile. So you actually know who the person is donating it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just, we don't want random people. I mean, we're under the Good Samaritan's Law, which means in 1994, a law was in place to protect us for giving food. And what that means is the Good Samaritan's Act in 94 means that if I give you an apple and it's in good standing and you eat it, there's no liability. So everyone that says, oh, I'm going to give you food, or if I wish I can give you food, but I'm not allowed to, corporations say that now. A lot of big umbrella corporations say that, but it's not true. It's actually, you're allowed to give food away and without liability, providing it's a good standing. So educating the audience is really important, and this is where we're getting at. So look up the Good Samaritan's Law, the Food Act 94.
Food Act 94. Okay. So that's basically also like, because I do recall you said that your store, you would have a food hero to go and get the food where it's located and bring it to the store and have it provided to the public.
Right.
So is that part of the app as well?
It kind of is. It's not. But what we do is we have 2 kitchens rolling and very large facilities. So when we do rescue food, we process it and give it back to people in need on every level. It could be, it could be 500 gallons of tomato sauce. It could be 200 pounds of chocolate. It could be 4 truckloads of dog food. However it be, we actually relocate any food that we can get our hands on. So if you are a corporation and if you're sitting on something that has the optimal freshness date, something we need to address also, the expiry date. What does an expiry date mean to you? Well, the optimal freshness date means that little date that's stamped indicates that food, they can't get the marketing value, they can't guarantee the color, the packaging, or the flavor profile. Well, it's still good. Let's give it away instead of throw it away, and that's what we're trying to do here. Anything that you have skids, if you have a warehouse full of stuff and you want to get rid of it, let's give us a chance to give it away. I mean, why not?
Yeah, awesome. So, everybody, we have Samantha on the line, and welcome, Samantha, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us with regards to Feed It Forward purpose. Hello.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me on. Hello,
Hi,
stranger.
Samantha.
So,
make me blush.
So, Samantha, share with us, as you're supporting Jagger with his vision and Feed It Forward, share with us a little bit of the journey.
Oh, so Samantha is my fiancée. Samantha is my best friend. Samantha is my right-hand woman, as you would say. And she's the better of me. She just brings the joy out me, and she supports me. Sorry, I'm bringing everyone up to speed here.
Okay.
She actually supports everything that I do and is 200% behind me. Thank you.
So she's basically your everything.
Pretty much.
How do I top that there? Well, as you know, Jagger he's just an extraordinary human, and from the first time I met him, I knew that he had, there's just this special energy about him, and I was so impressed with his motivation and determination to achieve these goals. I think that it's one thing to dream and to have ideas. It's another thing to really put the work behind it day after day after day, and that's what he does. So he's not just a leader, he actually does everything his volunteers do. So he's out there with them morning, afternoon, night, every single day, leading by example.
Awesome. So now the other thing is, I do know that sometimes you are there with him. I see like live videos and all that, and being beside him and going through that journey, and like, what does it make you feel? Making a difference beside him.
It's a joy to be a part of it when I can. I myself also have, I'm very busy, I do a lot of work, and I try to be part of any of his programs when I can, and it's always a joy to be there. I've always sort of enjoyed that philanthropic side. I've been involved with numerous different charities and whatnot through my journey, and so it's not new to me, but it is new to be around and watch all aspects of it from beginning to end. To watch somebody morning, night, and day put it all together and make sure it functions, because being part of it as a volunteer for one day is great, but you just don't see everything that goes on behind the scenes to make that possible, to bring that opportunity to people to be able to be part of a volunteering experience like that.
Yeah, I mean, you brought good points in regards to, being a volunteer. It's one thing, but actually being behind the project day and night and actually running it every day as basically part of your life journey. So that's a totally different thing, right? So
yes, absolutely.
Well, the funniest thing is, too, is you're able, it's a really big part of our lives, and my life also, I'll say plural, because this is a non-for-profit. We really work and thrive into the fact that there's no money to be made here. The only thing we get accomplished is feeding people. And that's the beauty about it, because we can work hard for all we want and have all the money we need, but at the end of the day, what do you get out of that? Yes, you might have the new flashy car or the beautiful home, but when you pass away, you might be able to hand that to someone, right? But what did you really go to heaven with? Well, you know what the funniest thing is? I'd rather go to heaven knowing that I did the best that I can for my community, for myself, and for my family, and especially for you, Samantha. So thank you for tuning in to us.
If I may, I just want to thank everybody that supported his journey, and every volunteer, and anyone, even the people that take the time to share the message, to spread the word. Every part of that counts. Every hour that every volunteer put in has made a huge difference. So they are truly appreciated, and I just wanted to take the time to say that. And thank you for having Jagger and myself on your show to, again, spread the awareness about the food insecurities and Jagger's programs.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samantha.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later, babe.
All right.
So we also have another incoming call.
Oh.
And in the meantime, I would like to thank everybody that is watching, and they are the following. We want to say hi to the audience. Hi. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Donya Clark, and I'm one of the volunteers with Feed It Forward, and I have been working with Jagger now since just shortly thereafter Christmas. And we just hi Jagger.
Hi.
And it's just been how I found out about Jagger was a very good friend of mine followed him, and she was reposting everything he was doing at Christmas. All the meals he was preparing. He served like about 1,800 people. He had gifts for children. It was just incredible, and I was so touched and moved by all this that I just said, I have to find a way to connect with this man. And so I sent him a friend request on Facebook, and he accepted it. And, well, that just started it. I started going to the kitchen to volunteer, and the energy and it was so moving to be part of this, and it just started to snowball from there. And I have been blessed to have witnessed Jagger grow, Feed It Forward, from us just handing out meals at the Better Living Center during the cold spell in January to what he's doing now with the store and Humber College. To see people coming into the store, at 3324 Dundas Street West in the Junction, and how they're treated with dignity and with grace, and they get to select their food like they're at a regular store, and they can donate whatever they want. To see moms coming in with their eyes full of tears because they're so grateful, to see moms coming in with their children and children nibbling on a peach or a banana while the mom picks up some groceries. And just to see how Jagger, the enthusiasm and the warm-heartedness that he greets every patron coming through those doors is just incredible. So, I'm sold.
Thank you. Well, you know, it's really great to hear my name, but it's not about me. It's about all of us working together. I mean, the store is run by another great volunteer, Tony. She's amazing. She's there 7 days a week running that store. And Adam Spencer, who runs around in the truck all day long, rescuing food to bring back to our store or to people. So, you know, it's about community, about bringing everyone together. And you, Sonia, I mean, you're amazing. You are always there if we need help to reach out. You are a voice for Feed It Forward. And, you know, you are always there when we need you. So I just wanted to give you gratitude as well as everyone that does participate in our program, because it's about making a difference. You know, thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I think as human beings, we need to give back. You know, in giving, I believe you receive. And in uplifting other people, we uplift our society, we uplift our city as a whole, and we bring a sense of positivity into the society. And when people feel uplifted and when people feel positive, they're more apt to, if they're feeling a little, they'll pick up their bootstraps and they'll feel more apt to get up and do something. So it's contagious.
It really is.
Yeah. And in terms of like what Adam and Tony do and the countless volunteers, I can't remember the exact numbers, but you're in the hundreds and hundreds of numbers of people volunteering. So, and in rescuing the food, in the stores and the grocers that contribute and make this effort possible as well, because the food that we are rescuing would be going to the landfill, and it's perfectly good. So people like Whole Foods and other grocers who are gracious in giving us this, we are able to continue on and ensure that no one in such a wonderful city like Toronto goes hungry.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
That's right. You know, you're absolutely correct. And the other thing is, yes, we're all human. However, some have a golden-hearted human than others, right? And to the point that we come together and we help without expectation. And that, to me, is beyond being a golden, pure-hearted person.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
We always
Likewise.
do. Have a powerful night.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, that's awesome. It's empowering. You know, it's really great to hear incredible feedback from the people that contribute their time and effort, because, you know what, I mean, we can all do something, but it's a matter of actually doing it. I've heard so many stories of people, I thought of that idea, or I wanted to do that idea, but now...
Hello?
Now that we've done that, hi, who's that? Now that we hold on for 1 second, whoever you are, thank you. But it's about, you know, we can now do it with us. I mean, you don't have to think about the idea. We're doing it. Just join us. Who's hi? Sorry.
Hi. Yeah, Jagger, please go ahead. I don't know. Who's
on the
calling?
horn?
Who's reaching out?
Who are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Your name?
Hi. My name is Tony.
Oh, hi, Tony. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Tony is our store manager, and thank you for calling in, Tony, because it's so great to hear you. Because you know what, I need to.
We were just talking about you.
I need to give you gratitude because 7 days. This girl, Tony, if you come to 3324 Dundas Street West and to the Pay What You Can free grocery store, you will see Tony. Tony is amazing. She runs that store. She organizes. She takes care of the volunteers. And she feeds hundreds and hundreds of people a day. And I'm sorry to keep pushing you out there, Tony, but you are an amazing citizen. And I just wanted to give you gratitude. Hi there, by the way.
Hi, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you.
Thanks. It's a great idea that we're doing together. Talk to me.
Absolutely.
So share with us your experience and the fact that you help Feed It Forward to make a difference out there. The fact that you're there and you're providing, because believe me, your time is precious. We are all temporary in this journey, and the fact that you're choosing to dedicate your golden time to be there and dedicate yourself to all the individuals that come to you to Feed It Forward. Share with us your experience and how does that make you feel?
Well, the experience is just absolutely amazing. The people that I meet every day, the wonderful people that come into the store are just absolutely amazing. I've gotten to meet a lot of wonderful families and individuals, and we've become friends. It just feels like family.
Yeah. Tony, what kind of people do you see at our store?
Well, I see a range of people. I see single mothers, I see families, I see young people, college students, seniors.
Now,
we get a whole range of people coming in.
So the concept of a donate what you can system at a grocery store, do you find that we can educate the audience here? Do you find that it's sustainable? How people actually either donate or they don't donate?
Yes, actually it is, because there is people who do it for it. They come in and they donate for someone else who can.
That's amazing. That's I witness this every day where people either they cannot afford or they can afford, and both walks of life come into the store and they can break bread together. They can actually have coffee, have a pastry, sit down and then really enjoy themselves as they grocery shop and have a full discussion of different walks of life. It's a safe place where people can actually enjoy themselves. It's a unique spot where, imagine just getting your groceries for pay what you can or donate what you can, and also talking to people that you would never normally do.
Or have the ability to, let's say, you don't have the funds whatsoever, but yet just going there, being able to socialize, feed your belly, and having the opportunity to know once you walk out of there, no one will be looking at you differently, no one will be judging you, because at the end of the day, it's all about donate what you can. Mm-hmm. And if in your pocket you have nothing at all, then it's okay.
Well, the funniest thing is, Tony, not only that people that we're feeding, but we're also feeding the pets, right? I mean, that's what's great about this grocery store. We even make our own dog treats. We use every part of possible that we can save, either from a plant base or from the animal. So if we were to get bones, well, these beautiful grass-fed bones that these animals were living off of, we utilize and we give back to the animals that enjoy them. I mean, not too many people can afford, organic treats for their animals.
That's right. So, any other words you would like to share, Tony?
Just for everyone to come in and see us.
Awesome.
Thanks, Tony, for sharing that with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. Let me just explain Tony. Not only that she runs a grocery store, but she's in the first truck, the first pickups in the morning. So at 7 o'clock, what time do you usually get up, Tony?
6:30.
6:30. She's out the door by 7. She's picked up at 7:30 in one of our trucks, and she goes around to different locations and picks up with Adam, who in fact has a hernia. Now imagine this. Mm-hmm. Our top driver who hauls all the luggage, meaning all the food, in boxes with Tony, and he has a hernia. So now Tony's doing all the lifting. So if you want to be a volunteer and wake up in the morning and help us out, please, by all means, because I only have 2 vehicles, myself and the other vehicle. We had 3, but now I'm separated. So we can only do so many runs per day, but if you want to assist and help volunteer in the morning, we'd love your assistance. If you live anywhere in the GTA, let us know. We can use you as a driver, or we can use your muscles. Use your muscles, because we need help. We really do. We're a small little show right now, and we haven't asked for help, but we're asking help tonight. Hey, Tony?
Yes, absolutely.
I love you, Tony. I'll see you first thing in the morning.
All right, will do. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
So this is also a great opportunity with regards to volunteering. You know, as a coach, sometimes I see people that they don't know what's their purpose. They're unemployed. They don't know what to do. One of my things that I encourage them is, you know what, being at home, it's not the ideal, because you get depressed and you feel even more lost in where you feel that you're lost already. So what I tell my clients is go out there, volunteer your time, be with people that will, you know, boost your positivity, will boost the fact that you have a purpose. And your purpose may be that now you're going to be starting to waking up a little bit early, making a difference out there for those that actually will be appreciative and value as a person. And believe me, when I coach people and they actually do it, they see a difference.
Yep.
And they start looking at life in a totally different perspective. Okay. And I actually have told a few of them in regards to Feed It Forward, because I know you're always looking for people. So that's one of the great things that I wanted to point it out. And now the other thing is, I want to thank all the viewers, and I want to thank them individually, one by one, for being with us, for hearing us, and engaging with us on live Facebook. And I would like to thank Doris, Dahlia, Asher,
God. Sorry, yeah. You're all great people,
Shira, Aaron, Rob, Fasana, Candace, Advan, and hold on. There's a lot of repeats here because they just keep throwing at us.
Keep on
some
giving
stuff here. Also Margaret, Vicky, and hold on, Daniel, Sarah, Evelyn. Hold on.
Thank
I
you
know,
to
guys.
all of you.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, without you,
Alfredo, Francesca, and we just keep on going. So thank you to everybody for engaging and really hearing out what Feed It Forward's purpose is all about, okay? And also for hearing out the new projects and the an app that it will soon be coming up.
Stay tuned for the new projects that will be launching. I won't shop talk until they're ready to go, but you'll hear about it soon. And if you want to inquire about how you can donate, you can or volunteer, you can go to feeditforward.ca and scroll down to what you'd like to select yourself as a volunteer, or make a monetary donation, or even food donation. And if you are that company that has that vehicle, we really need your help now. We really do. A vehicle would help so many others and ourselves. So thank you.
Yes. So now, before we wrap it up, I would like to bring it up the fact that November 25th, I'm launching a charity seminar for Feed It Forward's purpose in the community. So stay tuned, because the flyer will be launching shortly, and we will definitely be educating you guys and embracing each one of you guys to the charity seminar, so we can excel and make a bigger of a difference.
And the great thing about that seminar, that we all can discuss about the future possibilities of how we can make a change together and unite as a community. But the great thing is the app will be up and running through there, and you'll be able to share that with your loved ones across the world. You know, we can utilize it here, but it's not only here that we want the world to access free food. Italy and France, just to bring up to speed, Italy and France have made laws and given tax incentives for their food wastage. So any food that's edible has to be by law donated. And this is what Canada needs. So we're not reinventing the wheel, but you can go to my website at feeditforward.ca and go to the little spot that says petition. and sign that petition, because we have over 100,000 signatures already, and I would like to get a law here in place like Italy and France have done. Why should we waste food, and we can make it mandatory that people eat with the food wastage that's at hand? Let's make a difference together.
And the other thing is, if we can help external other countries, why can't we start internal here right now with Feed It Forward?
Showcase it. Let's make a difference together.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
make a difference.
We can start in our homeland, start in our own backyards. Why would any child in your own backyard go hungry? Imagine looking at your neighbor. Remember I said 1 in 7 families across Canada are, imagine 7 houses, and at least one of those houses, someone's hungry. Wow.
Yeah, amazing. So, connect yourself with feeditforward.ca, and anything you need, anything you want, you can always reach Jagger Gordon at his Facebook and provide him a message or whatever it is that you would like, or maybe not.
Let's stay away from social
Yeah, okay,
media,
let's
because
do it.
I'm up between 4:30 and 5:30 every
He
morning, spending
can't
2 hours on my
handle that.
social media. But you can go to actually info at feeditforward.ca. Send me an email. Myself will personally respond back to you, or my team member. And it's great. Community help. We can do it together. Thank you.
100%. Thank you. So before I wrap it up, I would like to thank everybody once again. And don't forget, every Wednesday, Carla Paiva Life Coach at 8 p.m. Thank you and have a great night.
One love.